Good evening and welcome to our 2018 Celebration of Excellence. I'm Linda Ertis. I'm not used to talking to y'all at the nighttime, but I'm from the Department of School and Community Relations, and I'm happy to say that the forecast for this evening is clear skies with lots of stars to be seen. As a community, tonight we are celebrating and honoring the many contributions that our dedicated staff bring to their roles while serving our children and youth across Arlington County and helping to meet the individual needs of every student. I look forward to this event each year because it really is, for somebody in the business of putting out good news, it's really a good news night. We get a chance to celebrate some amazing APS teachers who are at the core of our learning community. We also get a chance to highlight one outstanding principal who represents his or her peers as an example of the excellent leadership we have. Tonight we take time to also acknowledge the contributions of our support employees who make a difference in so many ways, but important ways for our schools. Many members of our APS families are also here tonight, and so I want to say how much we appreciate the support we receive from you, and especially from the Arlington County Council of PTAs. Tonight, all of our honorees received a corsage or boutonniere that was provided by the County Council of PTAs as a small token of their thanks. So I'd like to thank the CCPTA and all of our families for your amazing support for our staff every day. To start this evening's celebration, please join me in welcoming to the stage Dr. Barbara Cannonen, Chair of the Arlington School Board. Dr. Cannonen.
Good evening, everyone. We were just talking on the side there about how we thought this was the end of the year and you all said you were tired. But this is a really energized crowd tonight. We're so excited to be here with you to celebrate truly our favorite people, our teachers, our staff, those of you who are out working with the students every day and making Arlington Public Schools the great school system that we are. This is a school board that are huge fans of you all. I want to make sure you know that when we get to work every day, you are our focus. We know that the work you do with students, helping them with their core academic skills, but also encouraging them, giving them hope, making them smile and laugh, supporting them when they don't feel like smiling and laughing. You all are what's happening in our schools. We value your work. We know how hard you work, and we want to do as much as we can to support you. We truly, truly know your work is special and important. We are thrilled to be here this evening to be honoring some of our most amazing teachers and staff members across our school system. We also want to thank those of you who are here, and there are many of you who are supporting our award winners this evening. We know that every one of our award winners, if they were giving a speech, would talk about the importance of you and what you bring to the team and how you inspire them. And we want you to know that you all inspire us. We know you're all an important part of the team. We are thrilled to be on the team with you. And with that, I would like to turn it over to Dr. Murphy, who will begin the program. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Cannonen, and good evening to all of you. It is really rewarding, it is refreshing, and it is also, it just feels good. I was observing out in the lobby the fellowship, the enjoyment, the interaction between family and colleagues, and I just want to say to all of you, thank you very much. I'll echo some of Dr. Cannonen's comments, but I always think about the influences all of us have on individuals' lives and how those influences ripple or unfold in a moment or over time. And I think that consistency that all of us bring to whatever relationships we foster and how we support students' learning is very, very important. And tonight we're here to celebrate that. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being part of this evening's celebration. I have the honor of starting with our Principal of the Year, and I think we all recognize that regardless of our role, we all play a pivotal position in influence, whether it's in the classroom, whether it's supporting what's happening in our schools, or whether it's leading our schools. And we have a number of outstanding principal leaders here in our school division, and we are blessed with the leadership and also the patience and the involvement they bring to their school communities. This evening, though, we want to recognize one very special person, and that is Kim Graves. Kim, would you please stand as Arlington Public Schools Principal of the Year? So one of those student groups that we're going to see this evening is from Kim's school at Hoffman Boston. And under the direction of Miss Molly Haynes, we are going to hear from Hoffman Boston's All-Star Chorus. And they've got several songs that they would like to perform for us this evening. So Miss Haynes, if you want to make your way out here with the students so we can enjoy the celebration and hear from them, that would be wonderful.
Blending together.
So at this time, I would like to ask Ms. Graves, escorted by Mr. Reed Goldstein, who is the school board liaison to Hoffman Elementary, to come to center stage. And I want to tell you a little bit about Kim, and also we're going to hear from her with some thoughts and some comments. So Kim has been in education and an instructional leader for the past 20 years, the last 6 as the instructional leader and principal at Hoffman Boston Elementary School. And we have been very lucky and fortunate to have her here as part of our team. I think one of the things that is evident in Kim's work is she firmly believes that all students can learn and will succeed. And she also believes in setting high expectations, not only for her students and her families and her staff, but also for herself. She builds communities, and that has been very evident at Hoffman Boston in forging a number of different partnerships, not only with her families, but also with the surrounding community. And through that, she has increased student engagement and really looked at the whole child. Let me share some comments from various folks at her school. First, from a student who's a 5th grader. She's a good leader. When she sees a sad child, she tries to make their day better. From one of her parents who wrote, "What I like most about Principal Graves is her humbleness and down-to-earth personality. Miss Graves treats everyone like they are part of her family and always makes sure that she gives her undivided attention when speaking to you. She makes sure every person is acknowledged, and also any issues that may arise, she makes sure it is recognized and resolved promptly." And then finally, from Miss Elizabeth Cavella Love, "It's a wonderful time to know that Miss Graves has been named Principal of the Year because she has great charisma, leadership, energy, and a sensitivity to support families and students. She knows how to guide and motivate her staff so that they give the best of themselves for the welfare and the benefit of the total education community." Kim, those are some outstanding words, and we want to congratulate you. So at this time, as Arlington Public Schools 2018 Principal of the Year, I'm going to turn the mic over to you and see if you'd like to share any comments with us.
Wow. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you, Dr. Murphy, members of the board. I am truly honored for this recognition of being selected as Arlington County's Principal of the Year. I stand proudly in front of you today on the shoulders of many who have been here before me and those who stand in on the same path that I do to make a difference with students each and every day. So thank you to all of you, and know that my words represent as much of your feelings of leadership in your building as mine. For those of you who know me, typically I don't have a difficult time finding words to express what I'm feeling, but to have to sit down and actually prepare a speech, it was difficult to actually put my thoughts and feelings and emotion into words. But I did. And as I began to prepare for this speech, there were countless experiences and individuals during my 21-year career that have impacted me as a leader in a very significant and profound way. Those experiences and individuals are woven together in some, think of a beautiful tapestry with vibrant colors, full of vibrant colors, frayed and worn edges that all blend together to make this beautiful quilt. That's what I think about my experiences thus far. And this quilt is a quilt, a symbolic quilt that covers me as an armor each and every day to allow me the grace and the fortitude to do the job that I do, that I love. So at the center of this quilt is my faith. My foundation begins and ends with my faith. My family is at the core of everything that I do. My wonderful family truly sustains me and provides me with strength and support to advocate for children daily. The sacrifices that they make to share me with the countless students, staff, and larger community at Hoffman Boston is profound. And I want to take this opportunity to say that I love you with all of my heart. Other components of this symbolic quilt are built upon experiences and people along the way. From my humble beginnings as a high school social studies teacher in Williamsburg, Virginia, and later on to Minnie Howard, the TC camp, Minnie Howard Ninth Grade Center of the TC Howard campus in Alexandria, Virginia. It was during this time that I had the immense pleasure of working under the leadership of Dr. Margie Walsh. She was a principal who fostered an environment where every single child mattered. And darn it, I wanted to be a part of something like that. And so it was through this experience that I truly feel that my desire to become an administrator was crystallized. I wanted to be in a position to make a difference with students who were not just lucky to be in Ms. Graves' class, but those students across an entire building. And so thus began my career to pursue administration. I was fortunate to serve as a middle school assistant principal at Francis Hammond, and later on to my first principalship at Jefferson Houston Elementary School. My leadership with the Arlington County Public School Systems began in 2012 when I became the proud principal of Hoffman Boston Elementary School. In a mere matter of months, I quickly became acclimated to the Arlington way. Thank you to the members of the ELT and the countless supervisors and directors in the county who have provided me unyielding support and allowed me to be the leader that I need to be to make a difference with the students that matter the most. To my rambunctious, my passionate, my loving and talented elementary group colleagues, thank you, thank you, thank you for your humor, thank you for your knowledge, thank you for your strength. While we stand strong in number, and at times diverse in thought, we boldly represent a dedicated group of individuals who care deeply for students, care deeply for our communities, and care deeply for the county itself. My Hoffman Boston experiences and community will become an embedded part or an embedded piece of this symbolic quilt. To the wonderful students and families that we have the privilege of educating at Hoffman Boston Elementary School, to me, when I entered that school, I never viewed you as a school that was struggling or a school that was in need of improvement. Rather, you were a place that the light was always there. It just needed to be illuminated brightly so everyone could see the wonderful things that are present in that building. My students who are learning to speak English for the first time, or my students who are newly entering the country, or to my students who learn differently or who have special needs, to my babies who are performing well above grade level. To me, you represent perseverance, strength, and hope. I'm honored to have played a small role in the path of the tremendous future that each of you are destined to live. When you leave that elementary school and go on to whichever middle school that you will attend, Kenmore, TJ, or Gunston, I want the walls of those floors to shake and tremble because Hoffman Boston is coming through. To my fearless, dedicated, and downright awesome Hoffman Boston All-Star staff, what can I say? To attempt to capture in mere words the emotions, the pride, the esteem that I hold for such a talented and amazing team of individuals is futile, but I will try. I have been honored to serve as your leader for the past 6 years. An effective leader recognizes that while the person in the front receives the praise for guiding the ship, for moving it along, we know it's the work, the effort, and the commitment of those that I am blessed to lead that push this ship ashore. I'm blessed to have that strong force and wind behind me with the awesome Hoffman Boston All-Stars. I lead a group of educators who inspire me every day with their capacity to care so deeply for their students. Teachers who plan beyond the instructional day to ensure that students are provided with engaging, rigorous, and targeted learning experiences. A team of teachers who develop strong and positive relationships with students and families to ensure that kids get what they need, because we all understand that in the world we live in, no child should feel left behind. A group of people who set the bar high and dare students not to make it. And that's only in 1 week. And I sit back and say, and they still come back the next week and do it all over again. Because our kids deserve it, and that's why we are here. Together, we have cultivated an environment that is truly magical, a place of joy with the soul. We're not perfect, we make mistakes, we fight just like any family, but at the end of the day, what binds us together is our sheer desire and love and commitment for the kids that we serve. I am blown away by your capacity to love and to nurture and to withstand. To my fearless assistant principal extraordinaire, my Carmencita, I will miss you dearly. Thank you for your unwavering support and leadership. We have shared many personal and professional experiences together, and I truly would not have been able to do this without you by my side. Thank you. At HFB, we started a tradition 6 years ago that once you're an all-star, you're always an all-star. So that will never be forgotten to me, because once an all-star, always an all-star. As I close one chapter of my career and begin a new journey as the principal of Drew Model Elementary School, I look forward to building upon this imaginary quilt, this symbolic quilt, with many more poignant and memorable experiences. Because the thing about a quilt, it has no limits. It can continue to grow and grow and grow each and every day, and has the overwhelming capacity to support us all. Thank you again for this recognition and for this honor, and please enjoy the rest of tonight's show. And happy Teacher Appreciation Week.
Good evening. Thank you. This is a group that I hold near and dear to my heart because every time I have the opportunity to share my story, I will do that. I actually started as a support employee with Arlington Public Schools. So this is a group that, again, I hold near and dear to my heart, so I'm excited to introduce them and celebrate them. While our support employees are moving up to the stage, let me tell you about the critical role that they play in serving our students and helping them to learn. Tonight, we are very pleased to highlight the important work of our support employees by honoring them and recognizing them. Each person we are recognizing this evening was nominated by members of their school or department because of the important contributions they make on a daily basis. All support employees partner with the principals, teachers, and department leaders to provide the education and support our students need to perform their very best. The final selections of the 2018 honorees were made by the employee representative groups who serve on the Employee Advisory Committee, as well as the executive leadership team. Let's get started. I'm going to introduce or talk about the different categories that we have of support employees. Our bus drivers and bus attendants have a big job in safely transporting students while maintaining order and good humor along the way. They are often the first to welcome our students each day and they are often the ones who say goodbye at the end of the day. And in total, they traveled 630,000 miles last year. During the school day, our instructional assistants offer help and support to teachers to keep the classroom and the school running smoothly. They also help to monitor student work and communicate with parents and staff members to make sure everyone is well informed and prepared for the day. Our food and nutrition services employees provide nutritious meals that appeal to kids and staff, and always offer smiles to the students who pass through their lines and help them make healthy choices every day. Our exempt employees serve in a variety of leadership roles and functions, from making sure our technology is being utilized in the most effective and efficient way, to greeting and helping students and families and parents and visitors come and participate in our schools every day. Our general professional staff provide a wide range of support services that may include greeting families and visitors, managing budgets, staffing our offices, and supporting principals and teachers. Our custodial and maintenance staff keep our schools and facilities clean and in good working order to ensure a safe and healthy and high-quality environment. And our extended day. They create a warm and supportive atmosphere for all our students, and they supplement education in so many ways. So now I will turn it over to our Assistant Superintendent of Finance and Management, Leslie Peterson, and I invite school board members Tanya Talento and Monique O'Grady to come forward to assist with the presentation of our wonderful support employees.
Our first group are our A-scale employees, who are our classroom and school assistants. And they are Wafa Ahmed McKinley, Patricia Almeida Key, Jasmine Beckford Henry, Jorge Caballero Washington Lee, Maisha Elam Ashlon, Sushma Gulati Glebe, Maria Jimenez Campbell, Randy Lott Jr. Drew, Robert Mahan Kenmore, Laura Migliori Shelley, Arlington Traditional School, Fozia Makbul, Hoffman Boston, Yesenia Martinez, Arlington Career Center, Alexander Mercado Reza, Yorktown, Tanique Mason Barrett, Vincent Murray Swanson, Barami Yin Wakefield, Anita O'Brien Taylor, Toby Peabody Randolph, Daniel Pope, Arlington Community High School, Rosario Quinteros Iriarte, Stratford, Juan Reyes Gunston, Margolinda Rodriguez Barcroft, Nataki Samuels, Jefferson. Teresa Short, Arlington Science Focus. And Deborah Starrin Doby from Abingdon. Next, from our C-Scale or food service employee group, we have Diane Silva from Kenmore. I don't believe she's here this evening. Moving on to our E-Scale, we have 3 employees, all of whom were unable to attend this evening. They are Catherine Hale from Gunston, Kathy Lynn from Facilities and Operations, and Haley Solomon from Williamsburg. On to the G-Scale staff, who are our general professionals who help support the work in our schools and offices. And those nominees are Sandra Amores, Discovery, David Criollo, Wakefield, Donna Gavin, Jefferson, Sonia Hernandez, Williamsburg, Jody Jones, Jamestown, Carmen Mejia, Washington Lee, Katrina Moran from Tuckahoe, Sue Nunn, Kenmore, Tamika Rector, Gunston, and Patricia Rojas, Yorktown. Now for our M-Scale employees who represent our facilities and maintenance staff, we have Fernando Castro, Wakefield, Johnny De Leon, Long Branch, Lydia Gomez, Discovery, Johnny Jones, Gunston, Guido Mercado, Drew Model, Anthony Nguyen from Kenmore, Dilma Reyes from Nottingham, and Rosa Torres from Jefferson. And finally, our X-Scale nominee, who represents our extended day workers, and that is Andrea Ross from Campbell. And now I'll turn the proceedings back to Dr. Christy Murphy and ask Dr. Barbara Cannonen to assist her with the next group of honorees.
Thank you. So congratulations. And now we're going to recognize our first honoree from the A-Scale, our assistant employees. Our A-Scale employees serve as kindergarten assistants, special education assistants, bilingual family resource liaison assistants, ESOL Health, and resource assistants. This year's A-Scale Employee of the Year is Beth Scott, Library Media Assistant at Oak Ridge Elementary School. Congratulations, Beth. Yes. Next, from our food and nutrition services, also our C-Scale employees who prepare and serve a healthy meal every day to our students. They make sure that the food is presented in an appetizing way and help serve over 11,000 customers with a smile. Please welcome Renee Lopez Vazega, Food Services Manager at Gunston Middle School. Congratulations, Renee. Our transportation, or our D-scale staff, transport students around Arlington County, not just to and from school, but also on field trips, interscholastic competitions, and a huge range of events while keeping an upbeat and friendly environment on the buses. This year, we honor, and please welcome to the stage, bus driver Indiris Gutenheim. Afterwards as a group. Thank you and congratulations. Our next honoree represents our E-Scale employees, or our exempt, and our E-Scale leadership staff fulfill a variety of important roles throughout the school division. They make sure our technology is being utilized in a most efficient and effective way, assist parents and visitors, and oversee financial and operating systems. This year, we welcome to the stage from that group, Instructional Technology Coordinator Michael Goodman. Congratulations. Our next group, known as our General Staff Professional, or our G-Scale employees, provide administrative support in schools and central offices. They are often the first to greet visitors, families, students, and they are often the ones that calm everything before it gets to the principal or the assistant principal. These individuals help play critical roles in smoothing operations on any given day. This year's G-Scale Support Employee of the Year is Virginia Jenny Barrow, Educational Administrative Coordinator at Arlington Career Center. Congratulations, Jenny. Our M-Scale employees provide maintenance support across the school system. They ensure that our classrooms and buildings are clean, provide support with mechanical system challenges, and make building enhancement and rewiring spaces for technology more efficient for us to survive every single day in a building. Please welcome this year's M-Scale Support Employee of the Year, Rudy Anguelo, HVAC Mechanic in Facilities and Operations. Our last but certainly not least, X-Scale employee or extended day, who supervise our students every day in the extended day program or our check-in at the middle school, starting and ending our students' day with enriching and safe activities. I am pleased to introduce to Erica Mason, extended day assistant supervisor at Barcroft Elementary School. So I'm going to ask that you come stand to the side because we have a video to honor you and honor the work that you do before we take a group photo with the school board and continue to recognize you on this wonderful evening.
It's a knock on the door, and it's the superintendent. And he comes in, you know, he has this suit on, looking all serious and stuff, and I'm like, thinking to myself, oh my God, did I get fired? Because he asked for me by first and last name. And he was like, congratulations, you won. And I was like, I won what? And he was like, you won Support Staff Employee of the Year. Let's take a picture. And I grabbed him, I'm like, cheese!
So I'm coming up on my 20th year as an employee at Arlington Public Schools. I guess when I found out about the award, I thought about being blessed and highly favored that I had the opportunity to work at Kenmore Middle School, and my colleagues appreciate me that much. And it's been a great pleasure to serve the staff and the students here. So Arlington Public Schools is fortunate that we have an instructional technology coordinator in every school. So I provide professional development, support, and assistance to all teachers and staff at Kenmore. We also support students with the personalized devices. Every student has an iPad, and along with all of those devices and technology come support needs and the need to help students enhance their learning experience in school.
Well, they push us, which I really like. They're encouraging us if we don't have degrees to go back to school. That's something that I want to do now. I want to go back to school, get my degree, and just continue my education and continue working with Extended Day. So they offer a lot of support. So I've been with Arlington County Schools for about 25 years for the Extended Day department. We get our kids 7 to 9 in the morning. We have them, and then we get them again from 3:41 to 6. It means a lot to me. I'm honored to get this award, and I'm happy that they see the hard work that I put in after all these years.
I got a lot of support. That's why I feel thankful to the county to be here. I feel a lucky person to see the students happy, to show the students about healthy fruit, healthy vegetables, to be able to give more choices to the students. I do sometimes sharks with the watermelon. When they see those things, they get the fruit and they enjoy the fruit.
Well, I think it's really important to have a main office with support employees that work together. I've been in the county for 30 years. I am an Arlingtonian, and I used to go to our reunions and everybody would be doing these great things out in the world, and I'd be like, oh, I still work at Washington Lee, that's where I graduated. But now people come back to the reunions and they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I work for Washington Lee, or I work at the Career Center, and they're like, really? We love this town, so Arlington is now the place to be. So I was very excited to hear that I won, very privileged and honored to be a G-Scale Support Employee of the Year for Arlington Public Schools.
I couldn't believe it at first because I was just waiting, waiting, and I got a call and I was excited. I do a little bit of everything, most of emergency calls at night, do access control. A lot of things happens at night, even if the schools are closed and nobody's in there. APS is a great place to work because, in my situation I like it because I don't get to stay only in one place, It's like I have the freedom to move. I try to check at least 6 schools per night, and that time flies where you're busy doing what you're supposed to be doing.
As small as Arlington is, if we don't have these big buses, you can imagine how it would be, So we go out and transport, special needs kids. To be able to help those kids are really wonderful, big opportunity for me. What I like the most about my job is I don't feel like I'm coming to work, to be quite honest with you. I feel like I'm going to my other house and to be, told that I won this fantastic award, and I was speechless completely, and I did not know how to respond to it. I just want to thank APS for giving me the opportunity to be part of this big, wonderful, beautiful family.
I have the best job in the world because I love coming to work every day. I have a fantastic boss, a supportive principal, appreciative staff, and most importantly, the students here are so wonderful. They're from everywhere, all over the world, and it's just a real joy to be able to get to know them and help them find books that will spark their interest in reading. And it's just like icing on the cake to get this award because, I love my job, and it's really an honor to be able to be appreciated like this.
For everyone, eat a lot of vegetables and fruit. That is healthy. And thank you so much.
Please. So once again, help me recognize Beth, Renee, Indris, Mike, Ginny, Rudy, and Terica. So I believe the next is that the school board would like to have a picture with you and Dr. Murphy, and then we will take a group photo of all of our support employees. Yes. So thank you again to our support employees. Have a great end of the school year, and thank you for everything you do.
Good evening. We are so pleased to honor all of this year's Teacher of the Year nominees who are continuing to make their way to the right side of the stage. Our teachers are the bedrock of what we do and are critical to student success. Regardless of the grade level or subject, Arlington Public Schools has an amazing team of instructional professionals who help our students succeed in countless ways. Now, because we don't always like to end with Wakefield, Washington Lee, Williamsburg, and Yorktown, to mix things up, all of our teachers will be recognized in alphabetical order according to the teacher's last name. Now, time won't allow us to tell you all the wonderful things about these amazing educators, but we have some time to listen to a few brief comments from each Teacher of the Year nominee as they discuss their proudest moments as teachers, their greatest lessons from students, or a little about their passion for teaching. You'll hear some tell us about how they build relationships, share unique moments in their classrooms, and even share advice to our new and future teachers. I would like to take a moment to invite School Board Member Reed Goldstein to assist with the presentations. Oh, and he's here. Our first Teacher of the Year is from McKinley Elementary School. Jennifer Bluestein teaches special education.
I want my students to be positive and have as much independence as possible. No matter what differences or disabilities that they have, I want them to be independent in all areas, daily living skills, academics, and in relationships.
Congratulations, Jennifer. Next, from Kenmore Middle School, we have Yareeth Bowen, special education teacher.
Empowering and enabling my parents is one of the key success to the students when they leave my classroom. One of my goal is for when my parents come back, that they not say, Miss Bowen was the best teacher my child ever had, but to say that, Miss Bowen, do you remember those strategies you taught me years ago? To this day, I'm still able to use those strategies with my child. So for me, in order to extend my legacy as a teacher, I need to be able to pour into my parents as much as I'm pouring into my kids.
From Barcroft Elementary School, we have Denise Brown, who teaches physical education.
The greatest lesson I would like my students to leave my class knowing is that people need each other in order to get along in the world. And positive interactions with people from different backgrounds and cultural experiences will help enhance their social skills. And PE is the perfect place to do that. I want my students to know also that kindness, compassion, and integrity are character traits that appeal to others and are also traits that attract people to them. And lastly, I want my students to know that it is not the quantity of friends they have, but rather the quality of those friendships that mean the most.
H.B. Woodlawn Secondary Programs Teacher of the Year is Lee Buckley, who teaches special education to 8th graders. From Wakefield High School, we have Counselor John Clisham.
So because I work primarily with seniors in the college application process and financial aid, every year I kind of wait for a new group of kids to kind of appear and find out their stories and kind of figure out one by one how to best help them. And every year, not a year goes by where I don't hear a new story or something that'll break your heart, that'll make you work even harder.
Ashlawn's Teacher of the Year is Susan DeMatisse, Special Education Teacher.
And sometimes, as a teacher, you don't know your effect on, or your impact on others, on your children. But I just remember a few years ago when a mom came after school, came running to find me and told me that her son with autism was invited to his first sleepover. And she worried for years that because he struggled to make social connections with others, that this would not be possible. And that's something that he and she both desperately wanted. She also thanked me for the social skills groups that I did with her son. That's where he was able to specifically learn, how to be a friend in order to have a friend. Obviously, it's moments like this that are my proudest. Because I know for this mom and for this child, this was a dream come true.
Next up is Abingdon Elementary School's Teacher of the Year, 2nd grade teacher Sarah Edmonds.
I really think laughter is one of the most important things in a classroom, and I really try to incorporate laughter throughout the day as much as I can. It's a big part of who I am as a person, and it helps the kids get to know me through my humor. And I think it immediately puts people at ease, puts the kids at ease, kind of takes away the stressors and anxieties that could come up throughout the day. And it has really been the tool throughout my years of teaching that has built camaraderie right away. And the kids enjoy being in there. And when a kid enjoys coming to school, really what more can we ask for?
Tuckahoe Elementary School's Teacher of the Year is Margaret Egan. Margaret teaches outdoor learning and STEAM.
All students have things that they love learning about and love talking about. And for me, building relationships with students starts with taking a real interest in whatever interests them. And that shows students that I respect them and also creates exciting starting points for new learning. I love partnering with parents because we have the same goals: to strengthen our school community and to nurture not only the education of each unique student, but also their resilience and their confidence.
This year's honoree from Oak Ridge Elementary School is Olivia Fournier, third grade teacher.
I think it's important to build relationship with students and family because it's a way for them to connect on a level where they feel comfortable in the classroom. I make it my personal mission just to find out about my students' personal life. And when they come to school, they don't see them coming to school. It's like they're coming to their own personal place where they feel comfortable. And that gives them the green light to just take risks and do things that they wouldn't even think about being difficult or hard. They just take that risk because they feel comfortable in class.
From Nottingham Elementary School, we have special education teacher Sarah Garrett.
What ignites my passion are the teachers that I had growing up. It was a real big struggle for me to learn how to read, and I had a first grade teacher who just not only inspired me to become a teacher, but her care for me, for her students, was just awe-inspiring. And what keeps me going are my students, the smiles that they get on their face after spring break and they haven't seen you in a while, and the hugs that they give, and their want to learn after so much hard work is just extremely gratifying.
Swanson Middle School's Teacher of the Year honoree is Laura Goodwin. Laura is a counselor at Swanson, and Laura is out of town, so she was unable to attend this evening, but we want to make sure we honor her.
Well, I think building relationships with students is extremely important. In fact, it's the foundation for everything that I do with students at school. If I have a relationship with students, then I can know what motivates them, what challenges them, what resources they may need at our school or in our community. And building relationships with families as well is extremely crucial. Parents know their children the best, and I see families as really the most important part of our team at school when we're working to help a child succeed. So I feel very lucky I've been able to build so many strong relationships with my students, which in turn has led families to see me as a trusted resource at school.
Arlington Science Focus Elementary School's Teacher of the Year honoree is Abby James, Special Education Teacher.
My proudest moment actually came this year. As a teacher in the county for the past 8 years, I've had a lot of experience with different kinds of kids, K through 5, and this year it was with one of my third graders, and being able to work with him in one of our ATSS intervention programs, Orton Gillingham. This year he was finally able to read a book and blend and segment, as he had been struggling with just even letter recognition and letter sounds. So when we were able to finally see him read a book and self-correct, his case manager and I were in tears and just super proud to kind of capture that moment for him and for ourselves.
From Gunston Middle School, the Teacher of the Year honoree is 8th grade English Language Arts teacher Latifa Johnson.
The advice that I would have for future teachers is don't be afraid to make mistakes. Your veteran teachers are there for a reason. Go to them, ask questions. They're there to help you. Also, don't be afraid of your principal. Your principal is there to help you succeed as well.
Claremont Elementary School's Teacher of the Year honoree is Samantha Kirch, who teaches 3rd grade English Language Arts and Social Studies.
I believe in teaching students to be capable thinkers and compassionate problem solvers who can choose to do the right thing even when no one is watching or telling them what to do. And there are so many examples of this. Some are academic. Other examples are social emotional, such as when a student uses an I statement to tell a classmate that she hurt his feelings. I know that student must have calmed himself down, thought about how to express his feelings respectfully, and then done that. And I think when students experience that in a classroom culture, that it becomes a part of them, and those are lessons that they can carry with them throughout their lives.
From Carlin Springs Elementary School, kindergarten teacher Thomas Mitchell is the school's Teacher of the Year.
What ignites my passion for teaching is that I embrace the challenges that I have every day. I teach kindergarten, and a lot of people say to me, if you're teaching kindergarten, you must be the most patient person I know. And I always say it's not really patience that I need, it's really just being able to be open to connect with kids. And I find that when I was growing up, I was dyslexic, and my teachers always pushed me to overcome those obstacles and challenged me, but allowed me to become the best that I can be. And I try to do the best with my students as well, the same thing.
Campbell Elementary School's Teacher of the Year is Shannon O'Connor, 5th grade teacher.
I can think of 3 words that makes my classroom unique: songs, sloths, and science. These are 3 things that I really love, and by opening myself up to sharing theater and science and my love of sloths with my students, it kind of creates a base and a jumping off point for us to explore different things around us.
From Jamestown Elementary School, general vocal and choral music teacher Joseph Puzo is their Teacher of the Year.
The thing that ignited me and continues to inspire me are the teachers that I had throughout my life. My elementary, middle, and high school teachers. I'm still in contact with many of them, some very close contact. And the teachers that I work with at Jamestown and the teachers I worked with at Science Focus. And it sounds cliche, but it's the students and my former students, because many of them will come back and ask for material or talk about a wonderful experience they have and the joy that it brought to their lives. So teachers and students, that's what keeps me going.
And now I'd like to ask Miss Cynthia Johnson and Miss Nancy Van Doren to assist with presenting the remaining honorees.
So to continue celebrating teachers, I invite Taylor Elementary School Teacher of the Year, Megan Reed. Megan teaches general education to 5th graders.
I would like my students to walk away knowing how to have self-confidence, because above all, that's what's going to allow them to achieve their goals and overcome challenges. And of course, I'm going to teach them academics and subjects, but it's more important for me as a teacher to prepare them to be genuine, kind, compassionate, non-judgmental people as they go into middle school.
This year's honoree from Arlington Community High School is Maria Rosado. Maria is a high school counselor.
What makes me very proud of my students at Arlington Community High School is their commitment to finish their high school one day, become a successful students here in the United States, knowing that they are second language learners. I know how hard it is because I myself am a second language learner, and I have to work very, very hard to reach to the point that I am. My students are the best. They try very, very hard, and I'm very, very proud to be their school counselor.
From Glebe Elementary School, this year's Teacher of the Year is Eve Rutson. Eve is a kindergarten teacher.
My passion was ignited when I was 4 years old and I was a peer model in Montessori school. And it taught me how much I love helping others. And what keeps me devoted to this profession is what walks through my classroom door every single day. The kids are unbelievable, adorable. They love being there. I love seeing them. And the devotion also continues every year because this is the only job where my title of teacher stays the same, but it's a different job every single year because the class is completely different as well. And I can't imagine a greater joy than to touch so many lives and to have them in turn touch mine.
Washington Lee's High School Teacher of the Year is Tamika Shriver. Tamika teaches mathematics.
It was paramount to me that I create a culture in my classroom that lets all of my students know that I value them not only as a student but as a person. So I make it a point to, see the student at their job, whether it's at the grocery store. I have a lot of students that work at Giant or work at Rio Grande Cafe, or I make it a point to get to a lot of their sporting events so that they know that they are cared for. And I feel like that's the key ingredient in getting them to succeed and rise to the expectations and the demands that I put on in my classroom.
This year's Teacher of the Year honoree from Arlington Traditional Elementary School is Elizabeth Sneed. Elizabeth is a first grade teacher.
I feel very fortunate to have found something that I love to do in life, which is teaching. There are two reasons that I love it. I came to teaching later in life, and the first reason is because I love the age group I work with. I teach first graders, and 6 and 7-year-olds are a lot of fun. They want to do really well. They want to please you, and they work hard. One time, I had my hand on a student's desk, and she started counting my age spots. And where else does that get to happen to anyone? I get called mom, I get called mommy, I've been called mama, which was very Elvis. I've been called grandma, which was a little disconcerting. And once I was called grandpa, so I sent that little boy to the clinic to have his vision checked. The second reason I feel fortunate about teaching is the people I work with, my colleagues, my administrators, my teammates. They're committed, they work hard, they're talented, they're creative, and they've been very generous with me.
Arlington Career Center's Teacher of the Year is Micah Steinburbich. Micah teaches special education.
"99% of what we do in PEP, which stands for Program for Employment Preparedness, we are nonstop collaborating with everyone that is involved in our students' success. The OTs, PTs, job coaches. It doesn't stop within the school setting. It goes on. It happens at night. It happens over the weekends, on vacation time. We're always collaborating to make sure that our students are ready for the next steps. Their time with us in PEP is their last moments within APS. So we want to make sure that they are as successful as they can be once they leave us.
Henry Elementary School Teacher of the Year is Ashley Snyder. Ashley teaches 4th grade Virginia history, reading, and writing.
One of the reasons that I'm able to be Teacher of the Year is because I have such amazing colleagues at Patrick Henry. I remember my very first day working at Patrick Henry, the principal said to us, one of my main jobs is to hire exceptional teachers, and that has rang true for me throughout my 3 years at Patrick Henry. I get to peek into other classrooms and see all of the amazing experiments that they're doing, the hands-on learning. Being part of the Patrick Henry community has made me such a better teacher. I love when my ITC sends us the emails to go to our Google for Educators events. It just keeps me on my toes and makes me the best teacher that I can be.
From Barrett Elementary School, the Teacher of the Year is Renee Sullivan, and Renee is a reading specialist.
My students are definitely what ignite my passion for teaching. They keep me wanting to come back for more and to strive for better. They really have been what's turned me into a lifelong learner, and I hope to instill that same love of learning within them every day. I feel like there's always more to learn and more to improve, and they make me want to do that. So I would say that they are definitely what has ignited my passion as a teacher.
The Teacher of the Year for Escuela Key is Lena Tipton, and Lena is a FLES science teacher for 5th grade students.
I work in Key Elementary School as a FLES science teacher, and I think that the work we do to serve a large community, a diverse community in our country is very important. I have devoted my life to education because I feel since I was very little, I was inspired by my teachers to challenge myself, to learn, and to explore. Being a bilingual teacher helps me to do both, to give my students the best I can so they can also achieve for their best.
From Williamsburg Middle School, we have Robert Tuttle as the Teacher of the Year, and he is the counselor at Williamsburg.
I am all about supporting kids and supporting teachers in helping kids. The best way that I can do that is to build relationships with the kids, to build relationships with parents, to build relationships with teachers. I build relationships with kids in a number of different ways. I see them every day. I try to interact as much as possible with them. And I try to instill a sense of faith and trust that I am going to do my best to help them.
Long Branch Elementary School's Teacher of the Year is Alyssa Watkins, and she is a special education teacher at Long Branch.
I would love for my students to leave the classroom knowing that they have more capabilities than disabilities, because oftentimes teaching special education, my students get stuck on what they can't do without thinking about what they can do. So I try my best to use my cheerleader personality to cheer for anything and everything they do, whether it's academic or not, so that on the last day of school, they are able to walk out of school telling me something that they can do.
From Randolph Elementary School, Wyatt Weber is this year's Teacher of the Year, and Wyatt is a first grade general education teacher.
Many hands make light work, and we all know with teaching, there's lots to be done. So all hands on deck. When you're collaborating, you share ideas, you learn new things, and different lenses to present material to my class. It makes my work a lot lighter. It makes me look even better. And I owe a lot of it to the people I work with currently. Without the team I have right now, I wouldn't be here.
Yorktown High School's Teacher of the Year is Christine Weideman, and Christine teaches English.
How does APS inspire me? Well, I started with APS right out of grad school, and I think what helped me make the transition to work world, to teaching world, was the mentorship program. My mentor not only helped me adjust, she helped me thrive. So taking that experience, I started a mentorship program for incoming high school students with a few colleagues, for freshmen, for transfers, to help them adjust and thrive. And I think that's what inspires me. Every day, I get to see students supporting students and teachers supporting teachers. And at the end of every day, I get to be really proud to be part of that community.
From Drew Model School, we have Jessie Williams as the Teacher of the Year, and Jessie is the vocal and general music teacher for pre-K through 5th.
My advice to future teachers would be to try to make a personal connection with each child you teach. Sometimes it's difficult to reach the perceived unreachable or unlikable child, but in your maturity, you have a responsibility to lay aside those kinds of perceptions and to try to get to know your students individually. And once students recognize that authentic quality, that genuine quality that teachers should have about their personal welfare, at that point, you can take students to unimaginable places of achievement.
Hoffman Boston Elementary School's Teacher of the Year is Nida Williams, and Nida teaches kindergarten.
For my future teachers, I would tell them, you can do all the schooling in the world, take all the classes that you need to take, but the most important thing is to have classroom management. Because you can be so book smart, and when it comes time to teach those kids and they're not listening to you, it's pointless. So you have to make sure that you have good classroom management and also to have good interactions with the parents. From the Stratford program, this year's Teacher of the Year is Nancy Williams, and Nancy teaches special education.
For future teachers, my advice would be to first and foremost have an innate passion to teach, but more importantly, you must love children. As an educator, it is essential you strive to establish genuine, trusting relationships with your students. Get to know them, listen, be consistent, and definitely have a sense of humor. And collaborate, collaborate, collaborate. But never forget those teachers that touched your heart and made a difference in your life. May you aspire to become like them.
Discovery Elementary School Teacher of the Year is Kristen Sarkowski, and Kristen is a 5th grade math teacher, and she just had a baby girl, Mallory, and so here she is.
My proudest moments as a teacher come from when I see a student who has struggled or who has lacked confidence have a breakthrough moment. I know that that moment is the product of not only hard work and dedication on their part, but also the hours of time that we've put into building a relationship that fosters taking risks and supporting one another. And those are the proudest moments.
So we want to take a moment to thank all of this year's Teachers of the Year nominees. You inspire our students each and every day in the school year, and we are grateful that you have devoted yourself to helping students on their instructional journey here in Arlington. So thank you again. A great round of applause for all of our teachers. I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Murphy at this time.
So thank you very, very much, and congratulations to all our honorees. You did an exceptional job, not only in what you do on a daily basis, but you all look very good on video. So I know that always comes with a bit of trepidation. So a few weeks out before we pull all this together for this evening, there's a lot of preparation that goes into the videos, getting folks prepared, and having them come down to the studio, or we go and visit them out at their schools to capture what you saw this evening, and it is tremendous. Occasionally, there are a few outtakes that occur, and it's very rare. These folks are in front of an audience, 24/7, and they know how to perform. So these are very rare and exceptional clips of some outtakes that we'd like to roll and share with you. So Dwayne, if you could roll the video.
Ready? Oh, we're just having fun because she's loosening me up because I'm like tight as a screw. So we're nixing that first one, right? That's gone? No, we never nix. Oh, because you guys are at the TV studio. Hello. Okay. So I start over from the beginning.
Did you get that? Did you get all?
Done? Okay, I can eat lunch.
I like that. That was a whole lot of teachers and students.
I know it. As I was saying it, I was like, all right.
It was good. The only thing.
I'm so nervous. I'm shaking.
I know, and I saw that.
I know. I could feel it.
I saw that.
That felt pretty good, right? That was good.
I can think of 3 words that makes us in room 121 unique. Whoops. Sorry.
I said something totally different.
Oh, I went too long?
I went too long. Was that more than 30 seconds? I was trying to fill it in. Was that 30 seconds?
That was 3 minutes.
We're good? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Songs, sloths, and science. Yep, those are the 3 things.
I almost cried.
What? Don't tell me to say it again.
That was great.
Stop it. Stop it.
Stop it.
Awesome. That was even better.
I know.
I'm nervous.
And I've been teaching for 29 years and I don't know what I'm supposed to say next.
Well done.
Thanks, that's it.
Pretty painless, right?
Cool, how can I get this job?
Oh, you messed this part up. Then I just spelled the last name, right?
You know, Susan, we do bloopers.
Okay, that's not good. Okay. I'm good. We're gonna do this fast now that you said that. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait a minute. Let me just get in the zone. Sorry.
You're like, that's not a question.
I got the wrong paper.
You're like, this girl's making up her own questions.
You're free to go.
Thank God, I'm going to Trader Joe's.
Any more safety?
Got it.
Okay, we do 2 takes.
How'd you feel about it?
Great.
That's how I felt too.
Thanks.
Yeah! All right!
All right.
Go home!
Well done.
What was that?
Oh, I did that?
Yeah, you were great.
Well, did you cut the hands out?
No.
Yes! That's what I wanted. One-time deal.
That's nothing. That is nothing that's on here. That is nothing. That's nothing in here. Oh my goodness, this is total opposite of what I just said.
That's a wrap.
Okay. I think I nailed that second one.
You're done.
That's it?
That is it.
Gosh, you got me out of work early for that. And I live 2 blocks away.
I know, that is a really dun 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 dun. And it wasn't even the question I wanted, but I just.
Oh!
No.
That's it? Do I get to see any of it?
Bring it in. Bring it in.
I'm like, it's huge, but I don't know if people don't know, how huge
I actually
it
read
is.
it and was like, I felt it.
And that's what makes us unique.
So again, thank you to the AETV crew, and also thank you to all of you for being really good sports and sharing your thoughts and wisdom with us. I want to recognize someone who's in the audience this evening who has had a very, very busy and productive year representing the profession that we all respect and honor, but also a representative from Wakefield High School and Arlington Public Schools. She was our Teacher of the Year last year, not only for Arlington Public Schools, for the entire state of Virginia, and that's Michelle Cottrell-Williams. Michelle, would you please stand and be recognized? She has been extremely busy and done a tremendous job in not only representing the state and Arlington, but also the entire teaching profession. So we're very, very proud of you, and you've had a wonderful year. So congratulations again. So I'm going to ask Principal Keisha Bogan if she would do a favor for me and make her way here to the stage and join Mr. Tim Cotman. Mr. Cotman is our Teacher of the Year. He is a Minority Achievement Coordinator at Jefferson Middle School. And while Ms. Bogan is making her way to escort him out to the middle of the stage here in just a minute, we are going to run a little videotape on Mr. Cotman and some of his thoughts he would like to share with us about being Arlington Public Schools Teacher of the Year, but also the role that he plays at Jefferson Middle School.
It's important to me that students see themselves in the curriculum, that they feel empowered, that they have access to all the opportunities that are out there. I feel like part of my role is to make sure they do have access, to connect them with these opportunities, training parents so they know their rights and responsibilities, working with staff members, particularly on culturally responsive teaching strategies. So all of those different things make up what I do.
Mr. Cotman does a lot of things to help people. He's also very joking and funny too. So if you're looking for a little pun, little joke, something like that, he's always there. He's pretty funny.
I'm originally from Charles City County, Virginia. I came up to Northern Virginia to go to George Mason. While there, I started tutoring with the Early Identification Program. I fell in love with working with students. Then I decided I was going to be an English teacher. Richard Powell, who was the supervisor of Minority Achievement at the time, knew me from the EIP program, and he had told me about this position. I still had a year left in school, so I couldn't apply for it. But he did help me get a job at Swanson as a teaching assistant. I was there for 4 months, and then I got this job in May of 1996 and have been at Jefferson since then as Minority Achievement Coordinator. When I got this position, my father said to me, you need to make sure you finish your teaching certificate, because when budget cuts come, your position will be one of the first to go, because people don't even know what that is. And through the years working with my colleagues, there are definitely times when people are not sure exactly what we do. And I would just say to that we work hard to make sure, as much as we can, that the school is an equitable place, that kids that are often marginalized do not feel marginalized, that they are able to take advantage of everything that Arlington has to offer. We understand that this is not something that the group of us can do alone, and it is a system-wide effort. However, I'm proud of the work that we have done over the years of my colleagues, and I feel that we have made a difference.
We used to talk about like what we did, how we're going, grades and everything, and he's a really nice teacher. He supports us and what we need.
When I first got to middle school, I was kind of nervous, but he really helped me, and he showed me different activities to try out, so I was less scared. Well, I think a lot of kids have really good talents. They're just afraid to show it. So he helps people figure out to be more confident, and it's really helped me.
When students leave Arlington Public Schools, I want them to be inspired. I want them to know how to reach the goals that they set for themselves. I want them to be happy. I want them to be healthy. I want them to respect people who are different than they are. I want them to be good global citizens. I want them to understand how we're all connected, and that when they have things they believe in, to stand up for them and to lend their voice to causes to make the community better. You got straight A's last quarter. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So there are things that we do as educators that we may not know how they've impacted students, but just trust that we are making a positive impact. That's good. So now that you've made straight A's, are you going to continue to do it?
Yes.
Because now we know you can.
Can I ask Mr. Tim Cottonman to be escorted to the center of the stage? And school board members, if you would please join me in welcoming Arlington Public Schools Teacher of the Year. So, Tim, I have had the pleasure and the honor to work with you since arriving here in Arlington Public Schools, and there are marvelous comments here from some of your colleagues, from your Carolyn Clark, who supervises the Office of Minority Achievement, from your principal. But in reflecting on having worked with you and seen you work very closely on a variety of projects, I think the thing that I respect and honor the most is your sort of even keel, your steadiness in a storm, regardless of what that presentation may be, and your fairness. I think you've worked on a number of things with challenging racism, with courageous conversations, with minority achievement, many of the conferences, and I think you lend such a confidence to all the individuals you work with, especially our children, that makes you a standout, and that's why I believe this year you are our Teacher of the Year. So congratulations. Now, as we like to, give you an opportunity to share a few words with us, and then we're going to get a picture here with the board, as well as the other nominees and colleagues that are behind you.
Good evening. Buenas noches. Let me start out by thanking God for all the blessings He has bestowed upon me. I am honored to have been selected the 2018 Arlington Teacher of the Year. APS has phenomenal educators, and it is humbling to be among those recognized this year. I feel that this recognition validates and affirms the work done by so many in Arlington Public Schools and Arlington County around issues of equity and diversity. Congratulations to all of the honorees this evening. While reflecting on my personal feelings and beliefs about teaching, I thought about two experiences I had in college. I was enrolled in a 300-level English course. Our assignment was to select an article and summarize it. We were then to present the summary to the class. My professor stated that part of the assignment was to critique one another's work. It was 1992, and I selected an article from Time magazine that was about race riots. The article compared riots during the 1960s to riots that had just taken place after the Rodney King verdict. I was drawn to the article as an African-American male who was coming to terms with how I felt I was seen by society and during a critical time in my racial identity development. The main idea of the article was that though there had been race riots during these different times in the history of the United States, progress had been made during the almost 30-year span between them. The day came when we were to present our work. I was the only person of color in the class of 13 students. I was the last one to present that day. I went up to the front of the class and read my summary of the article. When I looked up from my paper, I noticed that everyone seemed to be looking down, and it was eerily quiet. There was not a single person who was making eye contact with me. I waited for the feedback from my classmates. No one said a word. The professor reminded the class that part of the assignment was to provide feedback and that it should start with positive feedback. Still, the room remained silent. After more prompting from the professor, one of my classmates said, you shouldn't assume that everyone thinks the way that you do. The professor defended me by stating I had presented a summary and not my personal opinion. Another classmate said, you should not have selected such a controversial topic. There were not any positive statements at all. Class ended and everyone began to leave. One of my classmates whispered to me as she left, I think you did a good job with your summary. I wondered why she had not spoken up during class. Initially, I couldn't understand why my classmates responded to me that way. Then I became disheartened because I felt that they heard Rodney King verdict and their minds shut down. They saw a young black man presenting a summary of an article whose topic made them extremely uncomfortable. I did not want to speak up in any class after that. I felt that I had been emotionally beat up and blindsided. I felt that my classmates had taken one look at me and thought they knew all they needed to know about me and my views without even getting to know me. I thought they would have been open-minded, but I was wrong. That experience, combined with others related to being one of a few students of color in classes, left me feeling disconnected and isolated from the learning community I had chosen. Fast forward several years to when I was working on my master's degree. I took an English methods course taught by Dr. Humbertson. It was the best class I've ever taken. Dr. Humbertson had a way of making every student in the class feel special. He created such an environment that I went from being shy and reserved to often sharing my perspective. I honestly felt that I did the class a disservice if I did not speak up. This wasn't because I felt I had such wonderful ideas. It was because we were a community of learners and I felt we owed it to one another to engage in a way that benefited the community. We were each contributing and learning from one another. I believe my classmates felt the same way. During the last day of class, Dr. Humbertson presented each student with a personalized note. Mine read, Tim, what happened? You started off this course so quiet and then you just came alive. Thank you for sharing your perspectives with us. After reading the comment, I shared the experience I had had before when I felt ostracized in that 300-level English course and how this class allowed me to reclaim my voice as a student. I'm forever grateful for that experience. I believe that education is meant to empower, to give voice, and to affirm. I believe students should feel what I felt in that course on a daily basis. I am rewarded when I see students working to their potential and growing into their own. I'm rewarded when I facilitate a seminar and educators come to a greater awareness of how to unlock that potential. I am rewarded when families have a greater understanding of how to advocate for their children. I take pride in learning from others as much as I can. I'm interested in not only assisting students in fitting into the system, but in having the system fit the students. I work to create opportunities for students and their families to share their voices. With strong relationships and an environment that allows them to be their authentic selves, students will excel. One of my colleagues at Jefferson, Mr. Anderson, placed a sign outside of his classroom 2 years ago. He had downloaded it from Teaching Tolerance website. We now have them throughout the school. It reads, "This school welcomes students of all races, ethnicities, and nationalities, students with diverse abilities, students who are LGBT, students of all family structures, students who are English language learners, students of all religions and no religion, students from all socioeconomic backgrounds, students regardless of their immigration status. Who are our most marginalized students and families? Who are our most vulnerable? Whose voices are we missing, and how do we ensure they are heard? I would like to thank my family and friends for all of your love and support, my colleagues at Jefferson for your unwavering dedication to our students and their families, my OMA family for inspiring me with your courage, my students for the privilege of working with you and learning from you, the community organizations that invest time and energy within our schools, and families who partner with us to make our schools even better and who are the students' first teachers. Thank you.
All right, if everyone could just hold tight for 1 second, we'll call it a wrap here. I want to say thank you to everyone who came out this evening. It has been a tremendous evening, and I appreciate your support, and it is great to honor these folks as well as the others that we've honored earlier this evening. Travel safe, have a wonderful rest of your evening, and enjoy tomorrow. Thank you.